Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
We take a look at how bullying can affect a student's life.
You basically just feel trapped.
A little boy is helping cancer patients in an untraditional way.
I'm really proud of my son, and I think it's important for kids to know that they can make a difference too.
And the University of Alberta has discovered a new way to see if prostate cancer will spread or return in a patient.
I think the best case for this test would be to identify those patients potentially who would not need treatment.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. This week is Bullying Awareness Week.
Bullying can affect students and lead to psychological health problems later in life. Effie at Mensa joins us live with the story.
Yes, since the Amanda Todd story went national, adults are taking an even closer look at bullying and what it's doing to the youth. Kyla Mueller, a first-year NAIT student, is enjoying school again, but was severely affected by bullying in her teen years. She excelled in all her classes, with the exception of one she didn't really like.
Worst for me was gym class. It was a co-ed class, so all the bullies that would bully me on a daily basis were in the class with me.
With the common misconception that girls are bullied by other girls, some may be surprised to know that Kyra only had male bullies in school. Feeling like she was trapped, Kyla tried to confide in her parents and teachers, but she said nothing seemed to change.
You basically just feel trapped.
Her friends were too afraid to be bullied themselves, so no one really stood up for each other. She eventually asked her family if she could relocate to a different school. According to the bullying statistics, 77% of the teenage population say that they have been bullied in their lifetime. Now, with social media and the internet being so popular, we are seeing a lot more of bullying coming out through the internet. To help launch Bullying Awareness Week, the group Safe and Caring recognized people who went above and beyond to make a difference. Myra Pierce says that bullying can cause an unhealthy amount of stress.
We know that stress actually can create more health problems than smoking. And so one of the things that we need to do, there's good stress and then there's toxic stress. And repeated bullying can actually lead to toxic stress, which is extremely damaging, has long-lasting, lifelong impacts.
Even though Kyra was heavily affected by the bullying, she's doing much better now, and she's pursuing her dreams of becoming a writer. So it is a good ending to her story.
What signs should parents be looking for if they suspect their child is being bullied?
Now, when kids come home with unexplainable bruises, or they seem to be missing school a lot, or their grades start to drop, those can be signs of possible bullying, so parents need to keep an eye out for that.
So I guess what else can children do if they feel that they can't really talk to adults about bullying?
Now, according to the Kids Helpline, you can always confide in somebody that you trust. It doesn't necessarily have to be your parents or an adult. It can be a good friend that you trust. If not, and you weren't able to talk to anybody one-on-one, you can also call the Kids Helpline at 1-800-868-6868, and you can always remain anonymous. You don't have to tell them who you are.
Thanks, Effie. That's Effie at Mensa reporting live.
News, entertainment, sports. You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
A 5-year-old is doing all that he can to fight cancer.
And he's not even in grade 1. He is creating art to make a difference. Tyler Warren reports from South Edmonton.
That's right. Here at Max's house, it's a spirit of giving, but rather than asking for presents, Max is using his artistic skill to help out others in need.
There's so many people with cancer.
So many people with cancer.
Max has been drawing pictures ever since he could pick up a marker. Anything from rocket ships to dinosaurs was on his canvas.
With one eye. His name is One Eye. He has one eye.
Max recently learned, however, that one of his friends was sick. The friend? 3-year-old Kyla McNeil, who was recently diagnosed with leukemia, a form of cancer that affects the blood.
When Kyla got her diagnosis, Max was confused. He thought only older people got diagnosed with cancer. So it was a new conversation for us to say, you know, even little people get cancer. So it is like a monster. It's very scary and it can affect anybody and everybody. And so he wanted to help Kyla with his pictures.
Max decided to start drawing some monsters that he could sell.
The people who have cancer.
Raising half of the money for the family in need, and the other half to Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Canada.
So when I heard that news, that's when we decided we could maybe help them raise some money with Max's drawings.
The response so far has been overwhelming. Orders have been coming in from all over Canada and even as far as Hong Kong, with all of the original drawings being sold out in just 4 days.
Max's family is hard at work trying to fulfill all the orders, raising over $5,500 on the drawings. To find out more about Max's art and where you can purchase it, check out fightamonster.ca.
Thanks, Tyler. That's Tyler Warren reporting.
A medical team, including researchers at the U of A, have identified which prostate cancer patients are more likely to experience serious and faster reoccurrence of their cancer. The team discovered that patients who tested positive for a certain antibody in their tumors typically had cancer that spread and reoccurred. This holds high hopes for cancer patients, both who test negative and positive.
So I think the best case for this test would be to identify those patients potentially who would not need treatment, who could rest easy and undergo active surveillance for their cancers to see what will happen over time.
Although the test is now invasive, researchers hope to use the same technology to develop a blood test that will only use 1 drop of blood.
Global Entrepreneurship Week kicked off this Monday at the Delta Hotel for the Startup City Luncheon.
Startup Edmonton, Junior Achievement.
The luncheon included speakers such as Premier Alison Redford, Mayor Don Iveson, Brad Ferguson, President and CEO of EEDC, and Ken Bautista, co-founder and CEO of Startup Edmonton. This week is the world's largest celebration of innovators and job creators who launch startups, bringing ideas to life.
Again, the best thing that you can do for the city is just to build something incredible from here. Solve big problems, raise the bar, compete, and you know that we've got your back. Thank you very much.
Startup Edmonton is an organization that helps kickstart local entrepreneurs and plans to eventually transform Edmonton's downtown warehouse district into a center of innovation and connection.
Spare tires have become the target for thieves. Jeep Wranglers produced between 2010 and 2013 have been the specific targets. There have been 5 thefts reported in the last month and a half. But there are ways to keep your vehicle safer and to lower the risk of getting the spare tire stolen.
So there are inexpensive tire locks that can be purchased. It's like a little lug nut that will attach to the back of the tire and will lock it securely in place. That'll provide you another level of protection.
Edmonton police also recommend to park in a well-lit area and report your tire stolen as soon as you notice it missing.
Students at NAIT got a chance to relax before exam week hits next month.
Moving up to the calves, I want you to flex your...
A free student wellness session was held Thursday at NAIT, teaching students practical ways to de-stress and relax before the anxiety and late nights of exam week begins.
I think students at this time of year experience a ton of anxiety and stress over exams and assignments and that sort of thing, so it's just a moment for them to come in and relax and let go of all of that and recharge a little bit.
The main things to keep in mind when you're stressed out during exams is to laugh, postpone and prioritize your worries, engage in physical activity, turn off Facebook and your cell phone, and most importantly, make time for sleep.
Plans have taken flight for a new museum to be built just outside of Edmonton. With the city centre airport closing at the end of the month, the Alberta Aviation Museum will be changing to a more traditional museum set up with exhibits and educational aspects of Edmonton's history. The museum will be losing its ability to host air shows, so the Aviation Museum will be opening a Flying Heritage Museum in Sturgeon County.
It'll be a living museum, which means there will be operating aircraft, there will be flying events, other events as well that are very active, that take a lot of room that this museum no longer has.
The two museums will be complementing each other in their collections and exhibits rather than competing.
The Christmas Bureau of Edmonton held their kickoff to this year's campaign.
Let the competition begin!
On Monday, the Christmas Bureau of Edmonton held its annual gingerbread house decorating contest. Many TV and radio stations took part in the event. NAIT, Edmonton firefighters, and the Oilers ladies also had groups competing in the competition. This year, the Christmas Bureau is hoping to raise $1.8 million to help the less fortunate this Christmas season.
So I definitely would love to see all of Edmonton come together to raise that $1.8 million so that we can ensure that 62,000 people in Edmonton have the Christmas or whatever tradition that they have at that time of year.
At the end of the event, 6 awards were handed out to 6 groups who decorated their house the best.
A group of medical students from the University of Alberta are not only academically gifted, but musically as well. The group includes Jonathan Kwan, Jonathan Young, Michael Wan, and Jan Chu, who met in the medical students choir. The group calls themselves the Vaccinations, and they find time from their busy schedules to get together to sing and post videos on YouTube, one of which already has gained over 13,000 views.
It was surprising. I guess a lot of us have never really had that much exposure to the online world of YouTube comments. But just in a couple of days, we picked up quite a few views, a lot more than we thought we would.
The Vaccinations plan to keep up with their studies while finding time to make music together and keep their YouTube channel alive. Coming up after the break, not everyone has elves to make Christmas presents for them.
We take a look at how students handle Christmas on a budget.
If it was a really good friend, I might spend, I don't know, somewhere around $30.
I'm Kelsey Lidnia, and coming up in sports, we take a look at Olympic women's hockey and watch me take my first shot. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Lauren Fink. Great news for those looking to hit the slopes this weekend with warmer temperatures in the forecast. I'll have your whole look at weather coming up.
Stanley A. Milner Library played host to a day dedicated to children.
November 20th has been declared National Child Day in Edmonton. The event started with a group of students singing "We Have a Voice." A group from St. Anne's Elementary School presented a skit telling the rights of a child. Mayor-designate Lyle Brennis made the proclamation with some students from St. Anne's School. Minister Dave Hancock took part in the event, donning a Children First pin, saying that it should be on the agenda every day.
And it's important because there is nothing more important than ensuring that each and every one of our children has the opportunity to succeed, the opportunity to maximize their own personal potential, to find their gifts.
The main focus of the event this year was that children have the right to give their opinion and for adults to listen and to take it seriously. So it was really snowy on our way to school today.
Yeah, it's been kind of a rough week. It seemed like it kind of went from 0 to winter in about 2 seconds. So I guess we'll find out how it's going to be looking over the weekend. Lauren?
Yeah, it's definitely been a cold week, but it's looking to be warmer tomorrow and through the beginning of the week. So let's look at the forecast. In Calgary, there will be a low of -4 in the morning, getting to a high of 2, and it'll be partly cloudy. Jasper will have a low of -5, getting to a high of 0, mostly cloudy. Fort McMurray, a low of -2, and it'll get colder through the day for -6, and also partly cloudy. Edmonton will see a low of -3 and a high of 0 with mixed sun and cloud. The average temperatures for this time of year are -11 and a high of -2. Our record low was in 1892 and it was -30. Our high was in 1930, with a +13.
Weather sponsored by NR92, the station for the students.
Yeah, so it'll definitely be warmer out, so you can go head outside and have some fun, but make sure if you're going anywhere, you're staying safe on the roads because they'll still be kind of gross. Do you guys have any plans this weekend?
I'll actually be going to your birthday party on Saturday, so I'm not going to be going outside much except for the point from my car to the restaurant. So
yeah, you'll have to make sure to wear your coat for sure.
I'll make sure to bring it.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
The most wonderful time of the year can also be the most expensive.
For many post-secondary students, sticking to a budget can be a difficult task during the holiday season. Sarah Stillwell has more on this story.
Most of the time, yeah.
No, it's usually just spend what I think would be appropriate.
The holiday season is stressful. For students, it means final exams and spending money they don't have.
I do want to give certain people gifts, but
It's a horrible way to look at Christmas.
Black Friday offers the best sales of the year, which can be good for students, but also encourages impulse buying.
Holiday season can be a rough time for students' bank accounts, but RBC offers several tips to keep students out of debt for this holiday season.
Count to 30 before impulse buying in a store, or wait 24 hours before buying something online. Make your savings plan part of your bill paying routine, like internet or utility payments. Make a list to see where you can turn your spending habits into saving. Having a deadline can help you decide how much to put away and how often. If you're planning on going on vacation this summer, keeping a photo on hand can inspire you to continue saving. According to the Bank of Montreal, Canadians' overall holiday spending habits have increased for a third straight year, spending $1,800 on average for the holiday period.
We now have Kelsey Lidniuk with sports. So the Oil Kings have been doing well since they've returned from the road trip.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'll have highlights of their game from last weekend coming up soon. But first, NAIT curling. After an outstanding 2012-13 season with the men bringing home the CCAA gold and the women taking silver, the team looks to start up this season in a similar fashion. After sweeping college curling across the country last season, the UKS team is mostly returning players, and the women hope that with their experience as a team, they can improve on last season's CCAA silver.
I think we're ready. We've prepared as much as we could, practiced a lot, and we just have to take it how it comes, one game at a time.
You can catch the college curling action at Augustana for the remainder of the weekend, with the championship draws happening tomorrow. In preparation for the 2014 Olympics in Sochi, the Canadian Olympic women's team has been traveling around Alberta playing the midget AAA teams. On Tuesday, the Fort Saskatchewan Rangers were host to the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as the girls gear up for Sochi.
Half the people out there dream about playing your heroes or the people you look up to. We're actually here to do it, so the experience is like the key thing.
But the Rangers did not have time to be starstruck as it still counted as a regular league game.
But we still have to maintain a regular game situation for us to get 2 points. That's our main goal. We're here to help them, but we're not going to give them anything for free.
The Rangers did gain those 2 points, winning by a score of 3-2. The women take on Calgary next and finish mid-December. After an impressive 6-2 0-0 road trip, the Oil Kings returned to Rexall, and their second game back was at home on Saturday. The huge dump of snow did not keep fans from coming out, as minor hockey teams from in and around the Edmonton area were guests of honor, and Curtis Lazar t-shirts were given out to fans. The Oil Kings were set to face off against the Swift Current Broncos after a 3-1 loss to them in Saskatchewan a few weeks prior. Henrik Samuelsson over to Brett Pollock, sends it over to Ashton Sautner to take a one-timer shot. Reed Petrick picks up the loose puck and sends it top shelf 1-0 Oil Kings. Griffin Reinhart picks up the puck in their zone, sends it up to Sautner, up to Riley Kieser. Kieser takes a shot. E2 Laurakainen with the block. It's a fight for the puck. Mitch Mraz gets it loose and scores. 2-0 Oil Kings at the end of the first. No goals through the second period, and on to the third. Some pretty passing from Swift Current as Julius Honka sends the puck through 2 defenders. Graham Black tips it in and puts the Broncos within 1 goal. Colby Cave behind the net with some nice hands, sends it up to Brett Lernout. He fires it from the blue line and ties up the game for the Broncos. Now the Oil Kings with the man advantage. Aaron Irving traps the puck and gives it to Curtis Lazar. Lazar to Irving, over to Sautner, who takes a shot. Mraz picks up the deflection and returns the lead. The man of the night, Mr. Lazar, would score a late goal in the third as the Oil Kings defeated the Broncos 4-2, snapping Swift Current's 10-game win streak.
I thought we did a lot of good things. I thought that, we're starting to build a little bit. Saw some old habits starting to creep in a little bit on the power play, but some that's we'll address. But that's 2 games in a row we got a power play goal and huge goals for us, so it's a good time to get going.
For the 3rd consecutive year, the host city will be playing in the Grey Cup. This year will be a rematch of possibly the greatest Canadian football game ever played, the 1989 Grey Cup. Kent Austin was the quarterback for the '89 Riders, and it was his coaching that led the '07 Riders to their 3rd Grey Cup. Now he is coaching Hamilton with kicker Luca Conji and wide receiver Andy Fantuz, whom he coached in '07 in Saskatchewan. Despite a rough start to the regular season, going 1-4 through the first 5 games, the Ticats beat Toronto 36-24. After a few setbacks mid-season, Saskatchewan locked home field advantage as they look to win their 4th Grey Cup in 103 years against the man that helped them win 2/3 of their championships with a 35-13 win over Calgary. Stay tuned next week as Rachel Prazik and I will have a recap of the Grey Cup festivities from Mosaic Stadium. Shooting a gun frightens most people, and in this week's End Zone Challenge, I conquered that fear. Let's take a look as I take my first shot.
Before we get started.
Range Officer Michael Weiss was my instructor for the day, and the first thing to teach a gun rookie was safety with a gun, followed by how to hold it.
Down,
Next up was to load the magazine, which is a lot harder than it looks, so I had to use the easy loader.
You just have to pull the trigger.
Right.
Slow, steady pull of the trigger.
Is it going to have a big kickback?
Nope. A little bit of kick, but nothing you can't handle.
Okay. And a few deep breaths.
Good job.
And there was my first gunshot.
It's fun. Good way to relieve stress. I think everybody should try it at least once. It's good to learn for self-defense too.
Michael neglected to mention that first you have to get over the fear of shooting a gun, but after that, it really is fun. So add it to the bucket list.
He's definitely not getting up after that.
Like you were getting pretty good at shooting.
Yeah, the first couple tries were a bit difficult, but I got into the groove of things, so.
It looked like there was kind of like that aftershock.
Yeah, no, the first time I was like, how bad is it going to be? But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So.
That's cool. Maybe I'll try it.
Definitely fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelsey.
Thanks.
Coming up after the break, Brianne and I lend a hand to express shipping company UMAC.
To help those affected in the Philippines by Typhoon Haiyan.
Sending it some medicines, hand goods, and clothes for the victims.
Hi, I'm Ryan Johnson with Entertainment, and today we look at Shrek the Musical, as well as a trip to the Harry Potter exhibit, coming up on NAIT NewsWatch.
Haircut and color provided by Ivory Noir, Edmonton's first color correction salon.
Anastasia and I got to help out those still affected by Typhoon Haiyan this week.
We spent our afternoon with UMAC, an express cargo corporation that sends care packages to the Philippines. UMAC is a freight forwarder to the Philippines that will pick up packages free of charge.
We already gave some boxes for free. We will pick all the boxes for free too. And we are encouraging people to come into the office and bring some goods and donations to them. And
they are encouraging donations such as toothpaste and toothbrushes, towels, and clothes. For more information, please call UMAC.
Fans of the Harry Potter franchise finally get to have their hands on a piece of the movie history.
Also, Shrek will be hitting the Arden Theatre. D'Artagnan Johnson has all the sneak peeks in this week's entertainment.
The Harry Potter exhibit has officially opened at the TELUS World of Science Center. The Harry Potter experience is one like no other, and Edmonton is the last North American stop. People can enjoy traveling through the recreations of popular sets with some areas that are interactive. From the itself, fans can see the props and costumes straight from all 8 movies.
I think probably one of my favorite areas is Hagrid's hut, where you really get to step into Hagrid's hut, you get to sit in his big chair, and it really is a sort of a total experience.
Along for the ride were a few special guests to Edmonton, the Phelps brothers, known for playing the Weasley twins.
My favorite bit's still here, the dragon, which is a pretty epic, yeah. I'd love him on my driveway. I think that'd be a good deterrent for anyone.
The Harry Potter exhibit runs until March 9th. Those who enjoyed the movies About Smit and Sideways may enjoy director Alexander Payne's new movie, Nebraska. Nebraska tells the story of Woody Grant, played by Bruce Dern, who is traveling to Nebraska with his son, played by Will Forte, to claim $1 million.
This is Woody Grant.
We are now authorized to pay $1 million to Woodrow T. Grant of Billings, Montana.
This is his son.
You didn't win anything. It's a complete scam, so you gotta stop this, okay?
I'm running out of time.
Along the road trip, they stop off in Hawthorne, which is Woody's hometown, to visit his wife and a collection of zany friends, all curious how he became a millionaire.
Woody here's the talk of the town. Why didn't you tell us you was rich, Woody?
David said not to.
You got it on you. Yeah, we sure would like to see what $1 million looks like. Sleep, right? Woody didn't win anything. You're a damn liar.
Anger mounts, though, as the townspeople begin to question if Woody has actually won any money.
Come on, have a beer with your old man. He's somebody.
Nebraska is out December 13th for those curious if Woody Grant really is a millionaire. I have some Nebraska swag and 2 advanced screening tickets for December 11th to the first people who answered this question. What is the capital of Nebraska? Tweet your answer to @NAIT NewsWatch. What's green is like an onion and is full of song. Shrek the Musical is being held in the Arden Theater and is being brought to life by the St. Albert's Children's Theater. Here's a sneak peek of one of the scenes.
Hey, naughty, 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 no. If you are a quirk, you didn't pass inspection. We all have our standards, but I will have perfection. And so, things are looking up here into luck. Just take a look. The things I'm cooking up here into luck. He likes to cook. A model that amazes. A plan with 7 faces. Things are looking up here into luck. They're looking up into luck.
Tickets can be purchased on Ticketmaster and are going fast. You can check out Shrek the Musical from now until December 1st. NAIT NewsWatch hosted a contest that asked you to submit your best pet selfies. This week we have narrowed down the entries to 6 finalists. You can go online to naitnewswatch.ca to vote for your favorite. We will announce the winner of our contest next week on NAIT NewsWatch. May the cutest pet win. Needless to say, with all the great events like Harry Potter and Shrek the Musical going on, more are on the way. The Festival of Trees at the Shaw Conference Center and the 44th Annual Singing Christmas Tree are some events that can't be missed. That's your look at entertainment.
Those pet selfies, I swear, if I would have put my picture with my pet, I think I would have won for sure.
Definitely.
My cat's really, really cute, so. Are you going to maybe check out the Harry Potter exhibit?
My sister and I have already gotten our tickets.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Thank you for watching, and please, if you want to check out some more episodes, head to naitnewswatch.ca.
Or tweet us @NAIT NewsWatch. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of the weekend.